Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana continues to consolidate just below the descending trend line that we talked about in yesterday's video. The market already showed a first reaction to our larger support area here a few days ago on Tuesday. And we're now in micro resistance. So we did at the time define a micro resistance range all the way up. So the golden ratio, one of the most relevant Fibonacci levels, is located at $93.45. As long as the price doesn't get a sustained break above $93.45, and as long as the price stays below the trend line, basically they go both together, I would not be able to rule out another low. Okay, so the yellow structure will not basically get invalidated in any way until we even, it's not even invalidation above the resistance, but it will get much less likely. So that's what I mean. A break above the trend line as well as a break above resistance will make the idea of possibly one more low, rather unlikely. And then I'd be watching for, I would be watching for a larger rally potentially. That's the next question we will then deal with. At the moment, first of all, it's important, I think, to understand that there is the yellow count, which is in a wave 4 and suggests that an A wave bottomed, a B wave topped, and we're now moving down in wave C. That's, however, not an impulse. It's only an ending diagonal in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more low cannot be ruled out. Of course, they can always form a low earlier, but it would only be possible as a WXY structure, which is why, technically speaking, sometimes some people prefer to start to buy or scale in or layer in positions at the end of wave 3 instead of waiting for the low in wave 4. That's where the tactics come in, but you cannot predict that there is going to be a larger low after only 3 waves down, because that would be a WXY pattern, which is usually an incomplete correction. So it takes more evidence. It's the less probable pathway. But technically speaking, I'm just saying what some Elliott wave traders prefer to do. They tend to start to look for entries at the end of the third wave instead of waiting for all 5 waves. Now only a small or smaller entry, but basically starting to look for positions. If we then see a rally in wave 4, what they might do is just move up the stop loss to break even, for example, already take some partial profits, but leave a position in case it breaks further, and so on. That's where tactics and strategies come in. But in terms of market structure, I can tell you, yes, of course, it's possible that we have a low in place in the WXY. We reached the 100% extension level here. That was the $80 level, which is why I emphasized that level so much, because it was not only the 100% extension there of wave W, or the A wave in the yellow count. It was also the 1.236 extension of this one too setup, and the 23.6 Fib level of our larger trend reversal area. I mean, if it reverses from here, we could say the primary scenario is fulfilled if the wave 4 bottoms here. Yeah, but that's not primarily what I'm watching for. So first of all, looking at the microstructure, we first need to see if resistance can break. And if resistance breaks, then we can consider that the wave 4 has formed a low. But it could also just be a larger ABC structure that forms. Okay, so it will be too early to confirm that all of wave 4 has bottomed. But for now, okay, so at the moment, I think it's clear, as long as we are below resistance, one more low to round about $71 maybe, 74, 71 is likely, or at least cannot be ruled out. Now let's go to the microstructure. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. Here, I can make the case for a first 5-wave pattern into resistance. Okay, so what I see is a first 1, 2. Here, a 5-wave move in wave 3. Wave 3 even reached, wave 3 even reached ideal Fib targets. If you think there might be a little bit of overlap, there isn't. Yeah, there isn't. Even though the subdivisions is where it's getting a bit messy, but it's actually a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3. Wave 4 is a triangle. Wave 5 of 3. I'm going to take that off again. So we have 5 waves in 3. Then we have a wave 4 and a wave 5. So I've got 5 waves up. Might get another squiggle higher. But from an impulsive point of view, actually, we have 5 waves up. Now, It is too small to be reliable because we're still in resistance. That's the problem. I can also count that as a 3-wave move. So it doesn't really give me a major edge. I'm just pointing out, okay, I can make a case here 4 or 5 waves up. It's at least a reason enough to watch if already the WXY bottomed there on, when was that? On Tuesday. But I can easily still count that as an ABC, right? I could say, okay, this here was an A wave in 3 waves. Then we have an expanded flat in a B wave. And this is now a C wave. Might also get a squiggle higher, but ABC, okay? Perfect, and then break down. That's possible. That's why we need a break above resistance, and that's what it's for. And yeah, we can really only look for higher once these 5 waves finished, maybe they are, and then a higher low forms after a pullback. So if now this pullback occurs, which would be needed after a 5-wave move up, then there are some levels to watch, and they are between 86.97 and 81.67. Honestly, this is only an area to watch. I mean, if you want to use it as a setup, that's up to you. But I can tell you, if we now get a pullback and there is a reaction here, then this could be a setup for higher. Then this would be a wave 1 in white, a wave 2 in white, and the wave 3 would then take us to possibly $100 plus. So there is another chance to find an entry if there is a pullback now. But because we are on the smallest time frame here, really, just, you know, understand that this is very fragile. It's just sort of, it gives you some levels to watch at 86.97, 85.39, 83.84, and 81.67. What I will also do, I will reduce the size of that resistance area, otherwise it's in the way. We don't need the lower levels. Yeah, so that's sort of from the white count basically gives you the bullish scenario, okay? The yellow count absolutely still reliable as well, and credible option, and you know, reasonable interpretation. So that's all I can say at the moment. There is maybe a smaller degree trend line here. Yeah, we could draw that trend line like that, maybe. Bit of an inverse head and shoulders going on there, but a bit too early to say. Okay, so that's sort of my current idea. Not much change, but potential 5-wave move up, of course, too small to be reliable. Yeah, but it could be, if Bitcoin decides to go, then that is Solana's pathway it could follow, really, but just needs to hold above 81.67. That's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.